Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. I didn't
So remember me bitching to you the other day about the guy that, about the guy that messaged me because he said my account was hacked and all this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, so our emails continued because I'm an idiot. And after we, I guess he gave up on the fact that my account was hacked, or he accepted what I was telling him was the truth, or whatever. I don't know. I remember him saying that he wanted to know what Minecon capes I had because whoever was using my account, he could see their Minecon capes. Well, he asked then, well, since you have all these Minecon capes, our brother's birthday's coming up in a week. Will you sell me one of your capes?
Wait, what? For one,
Yeah,
can you
right.
even do that?
You can't once you've used the code on your account, and then they've ended up deterring people from doing that as well by like in the I think the very last Minecon they made it where whenever you bought your ticket you put in your username or email or whatever, and it like linked the cake right with your account so that it wasn't a code that you activated. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But I emailed him back, and I was basically like, well, I've activated all my capes whenever you get them. And I was like, and Mojang really didn't want people selling them anyways. So the last Minecon, they deterred it by linking the stuff directly to your account. And so he responds to me with, well, there's where you're wrong. On the first Minecon in Vegas, you had to write down your name on a piece of paper, and then they put it on your account directly, which is not true. That's not what happened. And then I don't know, he went into dispute about where I was wrong and this is how it happened and all this. I was like, so anyways, how many codes do you have left and will you sell me one? And I didn't respond to that. I'd really had enough of this conversation at this point.
Dude, my question to you is, why are you lying to the man?
I know, right?
I don't understand why you keep lying to him.
I don't know why I keep responding, because every time I respond, he comes back with like I'm an asshole, basically. And really, I don't have to respond to him at all. So anyways, I didn't respond to him, and I've gotten 3 emails since, and every email is just a question mark. That's all. You're
like, yep.
So,
go on.
Yeah, I'm just done. That's my story. It's just this is why fan interaction is bad, is what I've come to learn. Every time I try to be helpful or nice, it seems like it bites me in the ass.
Now, do you think the whole thing was a ploy?
I mean, what, to get a cape?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the longest con ever.
I would agree, but maybe he really wants that cape.
I mean, I guess it's possible that's what this whole thing was about.
It's just weird how it turned into your account being hacked, even though it wasn't hacked. But yeah, and now sell me a cape. Yeah, right. Yeah, the whole thing was weird, and it just, again, it's my testimony for why you should never just don't even respond to people. Phantoms. Oh no. Dive bomb. Bed. I'm in bed. Leave me alone.
I'll come get in bed too. Well, I guess we can't sleep because Honey and Pack Rider are on. Oh god, they're so loud.
I almost shot you because you look like a phantom.
I'm not a phantom, Jeff.
I'm gonna go hide. Yeah, get in. Woo. Hidden. Okay.
Now they just hate me.
Well, why you hating on them like that?
I killed them. They're
all
dead.
of them?
I only saw one.
Oh, there was 3. Well, you might have been one of those 3, but there was at least 2.
You might have been one of those.
Well, you were flying around with them. You were just like, I am one of you.
That was in disguise. I remember what I was going to talk to you about. Do you remember me mentioning the show Alone?
Yes.
So I tried it. I watched the whole first season.
I mean, you tried to be alone.
Yeah, I tried it out. It's all right.
That's cool. It's cool. It's a little lonely, but
honestly, I think I am. I think I've come to realize that I probably should just be alone the rest of my life. Dating's still going fine and all, but sometimes I kind of just don't even want anyone else in my life.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm married with a kid and very happy, but sometimes, I feel the same way. Sometimes it's nice to just be on your own, just relax.
I mean, there's days where I don't want to have to describe everything I've done in my day, and then like be expected to answer a bunch of questions, and like, why have you not? And just sometimes, Anyways,
it looks like they fixed their fishing farm, by the way.
as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in here using it.
Huh. Interesting. Anyways, I tried the show out, and it's very good. I like it. It's like the first season, it's 10 guys. They're all guys. In the second season, they bring some women in. But 10 guys. They drop them off. They're all in Vancouver, where Paws lives. And they just drop them off on this island. They're all like 10 miles apart from each other, and they just got to survive. Just got to live on their own. Whatever happens, happens. And they're doing it like in fall, so like winter ends up rolling in at some point. And yeah,
I mean, so you watched the whole first season already?
Yeah.
So I mean, does it have a finale of some type?
Right, like basically it goes on until there's only one person left. That's the end of the season.
Like,
so the season could technically go on. No, they're all given a satellite phone at the start, and they can bail out anytime they want. So if something happens, like they get sick, or they just get scared, or they're just tired of being there, period, they can leave.
What's the quickest
so they
somebody drops?
Day one.
Jesus Christ.
Right, like, and if you're deciding that you're going to do this, and they're all supposedly professionally trained survivalists. If you decide you're going to do this, you got there and you're on the first day, and you're like, no, not for me. Like, especially in season 2 or whatever, then I think you're an idiot.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, but yeah, they're allowed to bring 10 items with them. So they get 10 items. So, but there's a list of items they're allowed to choose from for those 10 items. So it's not like they can just bring like, I'm gonna bring a truck.
Well, I'm gonna bring a 15-foot American flag.
They probably would have been allowed to bring that. Because like tarps are one of the things they have, and they're also given like a handful of things that aren't on that list. Like they all have like life preservers, for example. But it was pretty good. Like, I was surprised the depth some of them went. There are occasions where I'm watching it and I'm wondering if it was fake, though. And I'm some people that have watched it will think that I'm crazy for thinking this because what they're all doing. I mean, they're surviving and, about starving. You could see the weight change just like you can in Survivor and all that sort of stuff. But the some of them, like one of the guys, I don't want to spoil anything, but one of them suddenly decides to leave because he remembers his mom was going to go to the hospital at some point, and he's just like,
he didn't want her to be
who
late
knows?
for her appointment.
Right.
Well, he's like, I'm a ride. I gotta go.
He's like, I've realized, I should probably be there, and who knows how that hospital visit went, and so I'm gonna leave. And he'd been there a long time at this point, and so it's just like, what? Like, I don't know if he's just saying that or if it was like predetermined time for him to leave. Like, so there were certain occasions in the first season where I was like, is this all scripted? But it's hard to say. It's good though. I would put it on level with Survivor in a different way. Like, you don't have that social interaction and that drama. So if you need that to enjoy the show, I don't think you would enjoy this as much. But from the survival aspect, it's probably better than Survivor.
Remind me, do they each have their own camera systems and equipment, or?
Yeah, it looks like they have a shitload of GoPros. Like, there's several occasions where you'll see them with GoPros on their head and GoPros on.
A place to like plug them in.
Well, that's the thing that's not clear. I what I've gathered is in later seasons they suddenly start having to have these required medical visits. So the med team will come in and they'll show that happening. It didn't seem like that happened in the first season, or if it did, they kept it off camera. But what it looks like is happening is someone's coming by each day and giving them new batteries, basically. Because I think they also have to wait to give them like I bet there's like a trade-off every day of thumb drives or whatever and batteries.
That's that's the one thing I was always confused at with Survivor Man. And he was supposedly by himself, and he was always, you watched Survivor Man, right?
Yeah.
And he was, he'd even say to the camera, like, he'd show a video footage of him, like, climbing up to finally the top of this tall peak he was trying to do. And you're thinking, you're like, how the hell did he just do that? Like, who's videotaping him, obviously, if he's just getting to the top of this hill, and then he'd be like, the sad thing about being out here alone is you have to do this twice. Once to put the camera up, and then once again to record it. And you're like, oh, okay. But then you're like, wait, but he's been out here for like 7 days now. How many batteries did the man bring with him to have? Oh,
well, supposedly Survivor Man brought a shitload, but he also brought mobile charging stations with solar panels.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no. You must also have a shitload of shit on the ground because I ain't got no frames.
Some better internets or something, man.
I don't know, man. It becomes like Farlands or Bust. It gets real jittery. I don't know why that is,
it's
but
so weird. Just watch out over here. There's some lots more death holes now because as I'm peeling through the surface, it's like digging into this ravine.
Yeah, I've been filling it in on this level as I get to each of it. So,
but why? I'm just gonna come back and like unfill it in because
no, on this level, like I'm on the level where the farm is going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we're fine. But I don't know if they haven't shown them having any like solar panel type stuff on Alone, but they do show like the Pelican cases and stuff they have with all the camera, and they got quite a bit of equipment they got to haul around with them. They don't ever show it like this big burden that they're doing, but you can tell from all the camera views and all this type of stuff, other than like some B-roll that some other crew probably took. Like you can tell it's them just recording with a bunch of GoPros basically.
I still think you should watch Wrecked.
Which one was that one?
Wrecked was like the sitcom that's on TBS, but it's taking the premise of Lost but doing it as a comedy.
Oh yeah,
and it is like we actually have an episode downstairs that I'm excited to go watch because it's so good. I haven't seen just a funny show that's kept my interest in such a long time. Like we're on season 3 of it, and it's so fucking hilarious still.
I'll have to check it out. I got so much shit. Like I got all of Alone, so there's 5 seasons of that. I got the last season of Survivor, and
the last one. You haven't watched the last one?
I haven't. No, season 36, I think it is.
I watched it. Like we watched basically season, because remember I was really behind in season 35.
Yeah.
And we watched season 35 and kind of like took it into 36. It still took us a couple of weeks to watch them because you can only handle watching like 2 or 3 episodes when you binge watch it because just the editing of it. Like I love Survivor, but some of the editing you just get so like sick of watching the same type of hype train that they're trying to do like in a row. But the next one just started yesterday.
Oh, really? 37 just started.
Yeah, 37 just started yesterday. I haven't watched it yet. I
have 20 episodes of Survivor Australia too.
I've not even finished the first season of that.
Oh God! Well, you know, Russell Hantz joins the.
Yeah, we talked about that he's in the 3rd season. But has it started? Is it?
I don't know if it's done. I haven't started watching any of it. I just downloaded. I mean, I legally grabbed it all.
I wonder how you pull that off with. Because wasn't it one of the stipulations? Didn't we look up the Australian Survivor right when we like found out about it and see what the stipulations were for being on it? And it was like you have to be an Australian resident and. Yeah,
it did say that. Maybe he's a special guest. Maybe he can't win. I don't think he can win. Period. To be honest with you.
Well, so and that's another thing that makes me wonder is it the exact same production company? Because I thought he was like banned from Survivor, and they were talking about even fining him the $5 million for giving away like secrets.
Really? I didn't know about that. I was not aware.
Apparently, he got in a lot of trouble because he gave away essentially to some I don't know if it was an internet blog writer or what, but he basically confirmed like some. I remember reading this back when it happened, and there was a big controversy of what they were going to do about it, and how I thought the end result of it though was he was not welcome back to ever be on Survivor again.
What did he give away? Do you remember?
It was like the order of that particular season and who was going down. So it was what was specifically like in the contract that if you give away because I guess they have a big contract with all the contestants that if you give away any of the secrets of the season, you are fined $5 million.
Wow. I mean, I honestly think that he is a piece of shit. Like as a human being, I'm convinced he's not a good person. Basically, like just from what I've seen on that show.
Probably not, but he was an amazing villain. He definitely turned the show because when was he first on? In like season 19 or something like that?
No, I don't think it was that early.
Let's see.
I don't have anything handy to Google it with.
Survivor season. Survivor. The 3rd time was not the 3rd time. Russell Hands. Let me see. Muscle hence.
We should just dump everything in some chest.
So he was awarded $100,000 cash prize for both Survivor Samoa and Survivor Heroes versus Villains. So Samoa must have been the first one that he was on, right?
Sounds right.
I just read it and I don't even know how to spell Samoa.
Samoa.
Samoa, yep, that's right. Survivor Samoa. 19th season. Survivor Samoa is the 19th season of American CBS Survivor.
Wow, I didn't realize he was in there that early.
Yeah, and I remember it was because I started watching Survivor probably like season 8. Is when I randomly when I decided everybody talks about Survivor. I've never seen an episode of this in my life. I want to know what Survivor's like. I think I just I don't want to start with number 1. We're up to season 28.
Have you never seen number 1?
Huh? I did now. So I started watching 8, and I was like, that was pretty entertaining. And I binge watched 8 through, and I think I remember missing one in the middle because I found it later, and it was like a gold mine to go back and watch another episode of something. Oh shit! I have to go take these pigs to the gold farm because they're dead. And I remember getting a little bit bored after I was going through a little bit, and I was like, okay, this show's kind of going downhill. I also binge watched season 8 through season 18 at the time, essentially 10 seasons in probably like a month because I had nothing better going on in my life at the time. And I got to 19 and was just like, this show has become amazing again. And it was all because there was like this evil villain who was out finding idols without clues, which this is just unheard of. And, like really turned the show back around for me again. And then I went back and watched like the first seasons that I hadn't watched before.
Yeah, I don't know. He does make a good villain, but I think you have to be an asshole to be a good villain, so that's probably why I think he's just an asshole.
I still get mad that people take the game so seriously sometimes, and they're like, "You betrayed me." It's like, it's a fucking game. Like, don't take it as personally as you take it.
Well, the thing is, people, I don't think we can understand what it's like to be out there, and you suddenly start placing trust in people that you shouldn't. I don't think we'll ever be that lucky.
It will happen.
Yeah,
my boy
I've given
Jeff
up on that dream. Yeah, me and old Propsty.
Oh god, I can't even get into the nether. I can't do it. There it goes.
Wow. Oh.
It is so laggy joining the nether.
It's so laggy playing on the server, period. It's just a mess right now.
Yeah, but and you're right. Like, we've never been there. I can understand, especially like the toil of what the game is and how long you're there for, and I'm sure being hungry and missing your family and all. Emotions play a completely different role from the guy on the outside who's like, I could do that, because everybody look at the people who comment on our videos and stuff. I mean, they can do everything better than we can do, but some of the stuff they really might not be able to do it any better than we can do it. But when you... What is this? Brienne's Desert Base. I went the wrong way somehow. And so I get it from that perspective, but at the same time, suck it up. It's a game.
Yeah.
I mean, and you see some contestants who get voted out and they're like, oh, that was so good. I can't believe you guys got me with that. And they're like, all kind of like, wow, that was like amazing. You played a good game. And then there's some people who just take it like emotionally too.
Right. I think that just speaks to the person's character as a human being to some degree, and how they handle loss and defeat and that sort of thing. And I think that some people just can't, they're not emotionally stable enough to deal with those sort of life-changing things in a way that shows that they are actually an adult. I hit a button just now, and I switched my sword into my offhand, and I don't know what I did. And I'm getting beat up as a result.
Is it T? No, not T. Sorry, one of the buttons switches stuff to your offhand. I just don't remember.
Well, that's an awful button.
Spawn hub.
It's going to get me killed by this invisible spider.
I'm now I don't remember. Was it the second, or did we decide it wasn't the second right? Spawn hub. That's got to be it, right?
No, it says Gold Farm. There's a sign.
But didn't we have to walk pretty far to go find Gold Farm?
Oh, it was the second right. Yeah. I've had enough of these mobs.
Some jerk named Dyer. Is this a
Oh, my balls.
Like your real balls?
I just fell all the way to hell again.
Your balls finally dropped? They fell all the way to hell. They dropped pretty far.
Yeah, they did. Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord. Block up and hill. So I thought I caught up with you, and apparently I passed you at episodes.
Oh, well, that's because I also stopped uploading again. Like, I forgot to schedule again.
Okay. Yeah, I passed you back up. I mean, I released like an episode an hour. I had like 9 episodes come out in one day.
Yeah, well, I think I only have one left.
Well, so I didn't upload because I got ahead of you. So now I have 2 from last week and now 2 from today.
Well, we'll have 2 from today. From the last week, I posted 1 just before we started recording because I realized I never scheduled it. And I
haven't released any of those yet.
Yeah, 1 I put to scheduled it for 2 days from now because I didn't think you were caught up yet. So I was like, it doesn't really matter when these go out.
Yeah, I caught up and passed you on accident, but then I failed to stay caught up. But you were releasing on the wrong day at one point, too.
Yeah, I was just releasing I wasn't releasing because I went for a while where I, forgot to schedule them, and since you hadn't released them, it wasn't like I needed to keep up with, the perfect schedule because left is on. So
right.
Turned it on. I got to make sure I turn this thing off when I leave, though, huh?
Yep.
That's the important thing.
So, Ko and I have this patron server.
The banana guys?
Yeah. There's a vanilla server. It's vanilla server. But we've been doing a couple things with command blocks in an arena, but for the most part, it's still all vanilla, and all the stuff that like the patrons have done is all vanilla stuff. And we did a tour the other day, and they've done a bunch of like insane stuff that I didn't even know you could do in vanilla and things like that. But one of the things they've made is a creeper farm. And did you know that creepers are not 2 blocks tall?
No. Like
if you said, because all we cared about spawning in our farms were creepers, because that's the only drop we really needed. So apparently, you can just make a creeper farm, and if you have a 2 block tall area and you put half slabs on the roof, the only thing that'll spawn in there is spiders and creepers. So then, if you put down carpet where spiders can't spawn, the only thing that'll spawn in there is creepers. So like, all this work we've been doing, all we had to do was put half slabs on top of all those little pads we got. And we didn't have to have a big area, just, a small area where nothing else can spawn. And we could have had just an infinite number of creepers.
And therefore gotten a bunch of fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops. I'm like sitting here wondering why I'm not collecting anything. I forgot you have to like get a pigman angry.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I was like, why is nothing happening right now?
It blew my mind because I was surprised no one has commented on this in all our episodes where we talk about needing creepers.
I didn't. That doesn't even sound like it's right, though. Like, why are creepers not?
Yeah, they're not there. I've watched it. I've watched it with my own eyeballs. And whenever I saw it, Bria was like, yeah, I knew about this. And I'm like, you're the motherfucker that kept talking about how we need to stop spiders from spawning so we'll get more creepers, but you didn't say anything about the whole, you could just prevent everything but creepers.
So, and why do they spawn on carpets?
Well, they won't spawn. They won't spawn on the carpets, but that just stops the spiders from spawning. So they won't spawn on the carpets here. Nothing will spawn on the carpet. But that way you just limit the pad to where it still gives spots for creepers to spawn. You just put it every 2 blocks so spiders can't spawn, basically.
Okay. It's just so weird. God, this thing is so slow right now, and I think it's just laggy. Yeah, it's so
probably.
Laggy.
Yeah, the servers just can't handle 4 people playing on it.
With 2 different... I mean, who knows? Honey and Pack might be in the end or something, too. Imagine 3 different areas loaded right now.
Yeah, I don't know what they do.
I will say, being here by myself, though, even with this laggy, I've got 2 picks that are almost 100% already.
Wow. There's a guy in that first season of Alone that looks like Pack Rat.
Really?
Every time he comes on, I'm like, hey, there's Pack Rat.
I mean, are you sure Pack Rat wasn't in Alone? And maybe that's...
He doesn't sound like him. I mean, he doesn't look exactly like him either, but it's close. It's real close. It's definitely a good resemblance. Anyways, I guess we should let it off here, though.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.